Hello sweet friends and crafters, welcome to Carol's Craft Cottage. For today's video I am doing part 2 of the Slimline Heart House shaker box, I'm going to call it. It's actually like a shadow box. And I have the lights dim so that you can see that this project lights up. And you're going to want to go to part 1 and make your houses first. So I know you're in the video, you'll remember seeing these 2 houses. There's a third one, there's a blue one as well. So we made these houses, this one in particular, in that video, and I showed you 3 houses, I believe, in the video. So I wanted to show you that this lights up, and how fun is that? This would make a wonderful Christmas gift. So let me go ahead and turn this off, and let's review the dies that we used from Scrapdiva Designs to create the house, and the new ones that I added to finish your project. So go to Erica's new site. She's got a beautiful new site now. I'm sure you're going to love it. It's at this website right here, and I'm going to leave links to all the dies in the description box below to make it easy for you to shop. Please use Carol 10 at checkout for 10% off your entire order. So let me show you the dies one more time. We have the Slimline Heart House right here. This is the base. And then you have the Slimline Heart House add-on. You have the mini leaves and bow add-on for the Advent houses, and it works perfectly with this die. Then you have the Spring and Easter border set, and this is the one I used. If you don't have this set, you can always use a border punch for that. And then I didn't show this in the other video because this is in the completed project, and this is the Peppermint Sentiments, and I used holiday wishes out of this. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. Now, if you haven't done so already, you should have your house completed. So we're going to put this aside, and we're going to go over what you need to start putting this together. I'm going to leave all the measurements in the description box below, and it will help you when you are putting this together. So I'm going to show you the lights. Now, this one I used in this right here, this particular shadow box, and you can see I have it attached on the back here. So this particular light comes from the Dollar Tree, and it holds 2 AA batteries, and there are, I believe, let's see, it's 5, let me see, there are, and you can see it's made of a wire filament. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10, 11. There are 12 lights in this. So that is what I have in this one right here. This is the first one I made. That's the thing I grabbed. So I did make it with this, so that you know that if you can't get the other one, that this is available at the Dollar Tree. And then I have this from AliExpress, and this one right here is 20. So if you want more than 20, you can do 20. I don't have any larger one than 20, but I believe that some of these things are also available at Walmart and Hobby Lobby and things like that. I saw a lot of them this year. So you can get however big that you want. So we're going to take this apart because we're going to start putting the lights in our house first and then work from there. So they do tangle up a little bit, so you'll want to get them in a straight line if possible. There we go. So we're going to take our house And I have a punch here, and it does not say what the hole punch is, but it's very tiny. Can you see that? It makes a small punch, and this is something I think I got from Hobby Lobby, and I don't remember the size. It's only like 1/8 of an inch of a hole. So we're going to want to punch holes in our house in the windows, because we're going to put our lights behind the holes. So I like to stagger. So I'm going to put this in here, and I like to have the punch piece on the top, because there's foam in the house, if you remember from this tutorial. So I'm going to punch a hole in this corner, and then I'm going to punch a hole in this corner. So I'm actually going to be punching about 10 holes in this house. So from here, I'm going to punch up on the top here, and then on the top here. So I'm staggering my holes. So then I'm going to punch 2 holes in the heart, and I'm going to put 1 in the bottom, and then I'm going to put 1 on this side. And then I'm going to go on this side. So my last hole was over here, so I'm going to put 1 on this side over here. And then my last hole was up there on the top, so I'm going to go opposite from that and put it on the bottom. And then I'm going to take my cue from this. This had a hole on this side. I'm going to go on the top if I can, right here. And you just put that little piece, see the holes in the back? So that's like 1/8 of an inch of a hole. All right. And then I'm going to go on my cue on that one and go opposite and go on the top of here. All right. And then this is a piece of designer paper that you want to cut. And that piece is, let's see, let's measure it to make sure. This piece is 3 3/4 by 8 3/4, and this is what your house is going to be put on. So you're going to want to put, since I'm using a 20 light string of lights, I'm going to want to put 10 holes on this piece of paper as well. So I'm going to start about here, because I have trees that I'm putting in my box, so I want to start where I can leave some room for my trees. So I just hold it in place, and I'm going to do 3 holes right up this side, and then I'm going to do 2 holes here, random. So I'll do 1 there, and 1 over here, 1 over here, and I just eyeball it because it's like stars in the sky, okay? And then I'm going to go down 3. I'm going to eyeball it from here. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, so now we are ready to start putting the lights on the house. So I use hot glue because this is a wire. So we're going to start at the top hole on the heart. And we're going to take the light, and you can see the light right here. Let me see, I'm in camera here. That's the light right there. So we're going to place it over the hole, the first hole. And then you'll have to figure out what is a good rhythm for you as to how you're going to put this on the back. So I'm going to hold it there, and I'm going to put a ball of glue right there, and I'm going to hold it in place. This is what takes the longest. I try to blow on it to get it to cool quickly. So my light is over that hole. And then we're going to twist the wire. And we're going to place the second one. And then I just pinch this together and make sure it's lying flat. And then I put a ball of glue under there and a ball of glue here. And I hold it. I should have had a fan in here, right? I wouldn't have to do this. Just hold it up to the fan. All right. And then I'm going to go to the next hole. I'll move this out of the way so I don't get hot glue on it. All right. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go on this side. And you might want to pinch the wire, might help you to get it in place there. And I'm going to put a little hot glue under these pieces and hold it. Okay, and we're going to pinch the wire again. We're going to hold this over that hole and put some hot glue in a couple places. All right, I need a little bit more hot glue. All right. And I'm going to come back up to this one. And you'll probably have some crossover, but the wire is so pliable that you can just push on it to flatten it. So I'm going to hold it there. And then I put foam over the top of that before I mount it to the bottom piece, so everything lies pretty flat. It works out. Okay, I'm going to put some here. Make sure that little piece, you'll see like a little yellow dot in that light, and make sure that's right over the hole so that the light will shine through your house. I didn't hold that one long enough. Usually I do this when I'm watching a movie or something while I'm crafting. So I just watch for a few seconds while it's cooling off. All right. And what's nice about these lights is that the filaments can be twisted out of the way so that you can put the light where it needs to be. I'm going to put a little bit over here because this has a tendency to want to move. This is going to be probably a long video because of having to wait for this. But I want you to see how to do this so you're not intimidated. And it doesn't matter what it looks like on the back because nobody is ever going to see it. And I have one more light for the house, and then we're going to do the 10 lights in the backing sheet. All right, so with the last, you want to go so that the last hole is the one on the very bottom on this side. It does, if you end up with your lowest hole on this side, that's fine. You can do it either way. But the lowest hole, and then you want to put a glue dot right next to it to hold it in place, because then we're going from this sheet to this sheet of paper. And then I want to put a little bit right here because that wire is sticking up. And I want it flat because I'm going to be putting foam on here after. Cool it off. All right, I'm going to lift this up and we're going to turn the lights on to make sure that you could see the 10 lights. Okay. So I did pretty good. I've got one here that doesn't show, so I'll just move it a little bit. And can you see that? Let me go ahead and dim the light for you. So now we got the lights in there. All right. So we're going to put this on top of here. And don't worry about this little piece of wire coming out here because we put a tree, so that's covered up. All right, so we're going to eyeball this house, probably about a ½ inch up from the bottom. All right, and we're going to flip it over and we're going to start gluing the lights to this backing piece. I'll turn the lights back up here. And I'll save the battery on my lights and turn them off. So we're going to start the first light here. All right. And I put a drop of hot glue on either side of this. This one, they're straight up, so they're easier to put together. Make sure your lights are over the hole. So we have 3 there, and we're going up to the top here. I know you can get this particular light that I have here with the 20 lights on AliExpress, and they have different colors. You can get pink, blue, purple. There's a white that's a warm white, and then a cool white. There's a big selection if you decide to go that way. But if you can't wait for that to come from so far, you might be able to get the white ones at least at one of the department stores, or the one with the black that I showed you from the Dollar Tree. All right, so I'm going to pinch this. We're almost halfway done this back. All right. So we're working on the last 5. All right, I should have 3 more. 1, 2, and I do 3 more. And then we're going to check it to make sure that all the lights, you can see all the lights before we mount everything together. All right, one more light. And then we'll check and see how it looks before we start putting it together. So then you're going to take this and you're going to pull it, bend it where that hot glue is. Let's see. All right, and then just push down on your wires to make sure they're flat. And it's almost cool there. So let's go ahead and flip it over. And I'll dim the lights so we can see. All right, we should have 10 lights on here. Got a little hot glue up there. And can you see my lights? We're going to count them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And they all show through the holes. So I'm good, and we're going to start putting this together. So we're going to flip it over again, and we're going to, look, I'm tangled up here. We're going to flip it this way. And let me turn the lights back on. Now we're going to take, you can get this at Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby. It's a very thin, not too thick foam. And we're just going to go across the house. So not only is the hot glue going to hold those lights down, but so is this stuff. Pretty good stuff. I'm going to cut a piece like this to go on the top of my house. And I don't waste too much stuff, so I'm going to put that on the very top. And I'll cut one more little piece. Doesn't have to be fancy because nobody's going to see this. Okay? And this is going to attach right to the top of here like this. All right, so we can go ahead and peel our backing. And the house is going to go right about a ½ inch up from the bottom, and we are going to stick it down. Okay, there you see it's all lit up, ready to go. So we're going to turn it off, and now we're going to flip this over again, turn that off. And the next thing I'm going to use are these foam squares that you can get in the carpenter area of the Dollar Tree. Carpentry area, I should say. And we are going to put these all over the back, in between the wires. And then I'll give you the measurement of the piece of paper that we are going to stick this to. And yes, I use quite a bit of these on the back. I'm going to put that right on top of the wire. That'll hold the wire down. We're going to go across the bottom. All right, we need just a few more. And I'll give you the measurement for the piece that we're putting this on top of. And I think one more will do it. Okay. I'm going to have the measurements for this in the description box, but if you're following me, this way you have what you need. This piece is 4 1/4 by 9 1/4. You only need one, and it's coordinating cardstock. Let me make sure. 4 1/4 by 9 1/4. I want to make sure. Okay, so we're going to mount this on top of here. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, peppermint. Peppermint twist. I was looking at my cardstock and I noticed I had a lot of peppermint looking cardstock, even though I didn't buy the peppermint pad that Michaels has this year. They have a red and white peppermint pad. I didn't get that, but I have a lot of peppermint for some reason. The paper that I'm using here today is from Echo Park, and it's one of their, a couple of their collections that I mix together because they're so much alike in color. It's a good cardstock. It's pretty heavyweight. I like it. And it's double-sided, as you can see by the back of this. So yeah, this takes a while to take all these things off. But I prefer to use this than the tape. I like the squares because I can sandwich the wire in between. We're almost there. But if you're following along making this with me, this will give you some time to catch up. All right, so we're going to flip this over, and we're going to put this in the center of this backing sheet. So I'm going to move it down because I want to make sure I get it in the center. And then I'll pull it up so you can see. All right, there we go. So that is that piece. Now we're going to get ready to make the box. So you can see, ready to go. So we'll set this aside, and we're going to start making the box. So for this, we are going to need our base of 4 3/8 by 9.5. So you cut one of those, and then you're going to need for your sides 2 pieces that are 11 3/8 by 1.5 inch wide. Okay, this is going to start making your box. And I did not bring my scoreboard, but I will tell you, and I'll show you, that they are scored 1/4 inch on the short side, and then inch on either of the long side. So you're going to have to do that for both pieces, and you can see where I say cut and cut. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to cut these off. You don't have to write cut. I did that so I wouldn't mess up on my tutorial. All right, so you got what looks like that, okay? And we're gonna do this on this one. And of course you have to have 12 by 12 paper for this box. All right, one more side. Okay, so you want to fold on the fold lines, the score lines. All right, and you're going to fold these, and you're going to fold these. Okay, so we're going to start putting our box together. Now we want to take into consideration where this wire is going to be. So we want to leave room for that wire to roll around the back. I can't bring it down here because I have this little, I don't know what this thing is, in the way. So I'm going to have to fudge this through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and I'm going to, I have like a grain on this paper, so I'm going to flip it over. This is the smooth side, and I'm going to put the grain part on the back. So what I'm going to do is, this would go like this, and I need to attach this on here like this. So it's going to be tricky. So I'm going to pull this aside, and I'm going to attach this like this, and before the glue dries, I'm going to push this into place. All right, I know it's tricky, but you can do it. I know you could do it. All right, so I'm showing you what I'm doing here. Make sure you can see it. I flipped the house over, okay? I need to have the wire in between these two pieces. So I pulled the house away so that wire is still there, and I'm going to pull the wire while the glue is wet once I flip it over. We're going to put some wet glue on this 1/4 inch scored piece. I know the wire's tricky. If you want to, you could put a little slit in there if you don't want to take a chance. Okay, where's my pin? I just pulled it out. Let's see. Okay, it's still going. All right, so I'm going to put this on here. Put it up to the score line. All right, and you saw me pull that light. Okay, so I can flip it over, and you can see the wire going through there. It's going to have a little kink in it because this will be going on top of here like this. Okay, so now we're going to flip over and do the other side. Onto here. And we'll put this right on here. I'm going to pull this out a little bit so I can get this a little flat. Here we go. Still having trouble getting it. It's harder to do, I'm not going to lie to you, it's harder to do tutorials and not be straight over your work when you got a camera on your head. It's not actually on my head, but my head is hitting it. Okay, I think I got it this time. All right, we're gonna flip it over. All right. It's gonna come up like that. Come up like that. All right, and I put a little, just a little kink under on that wire, so that'll fit in there. Now we're going to go with our second piece. All right, let me see what I got here. All right, you're going to need 2 pieces. These are 2 1/8 by 4 3/8, and you're going to score at 1 inch on this side, then flip it over and score 1/4 inch on this side. So we're going to fold this down and fold this down. Okay, and we are going to attach this way. So here again, we're going to flip it over. So we're going to fold this over, and then we're going to fold this so it looks like this. And then we're going to flip this over, and we are going to attach this right here like this. So you're going to put glue on the 1/4 inch line. I'm going to put this under here, go to the score line, smooth it. And we're going to do the same on this side. Glue on the 1/4 inch, slip it under this side here to the score line, and then seal it. You're going to want to make sure the edge is to the score line so your box is nice and square. So here we have this, and it is time, instead of having this thing float around, we're going to go ahead and glue it to the bottom now. Center it in the middle of the box. All right, and now we're going to bring in the edges like this, and we're going to glue this like this. Okay, you can see that? Yeah, good. I'm in frame. So we're going to put glue on the backs of these little tabs here, and glue only on the top 1 inch. And when we fold this over, it'll secure this right inside. And then just lift this up and get a good stick. We're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to put glue on these little tabs. And glue only on the 1 inch on this side. All right, we're going to fold it over. And secure those little tabs on the inside. Lift it up, and then use your bone folder to get a good grab. As you can see, we're coming together here. Now you're going to want to fold these down Have them nice and even. Okay, and we're going to now cut 2 pieces of 1 1/4 inches wide by 4 3/8 inches long, and you're going to score a 1/4 inch on one side. And you're just going to fold over that top edge. And we're going to put glue on this 1 inch side. And we are going to attach it right here. Just pull those up a little bit and slide that right down in there. And then once we get the inside covered with our designer paper, we're just gonna tack these down a little bit. So flip that over. We got to do the second one. Fold that over. Oh, wrong thing. Sorry. We're going to do it on the 1 inch side. Even seasoned crafters do make mistakes. Have a trash bag full of stuff. Okay, here we go. Tuck that in there. Do this. All right. Look at that. Ready to go. Ready for the next part. Okay, we're going to cover our box with designer paper. Now, I had a die for mine, so I will show you what I did and tell you how you can do yours. Okay? These are, let's see. Make sure I get the correct. All right, these are 7/8 of an inch wide by 9 1/4 inches long. Okay, and like I said, I had a die for mine, but you can cut your pieces to that size, and then you can do a 5/8 inch center. See, mine cuts a little scallop, but you could do a center so that you have a two-tone side. You could do it however you want to do that. So we're going to attach this here, okay? So yours can be plain, or you could have two-tone with 7/8 inch and then a 5/8 inch. And then you would go, this one is, what did I say now? The length is 9 1/4. You could have it at 9 so that you could have a two-tone. So I'm just going to put glue on this. And you'll do 4. You need 2 for the outside and 2 for the inside of the same size. Okay. All right, I got to do the inside now. Honey, are you in the living room?
Yes.
Could you get me the plastic bags, a plastic bag on my craft desk that have the little white foam balls in it?
Okay.
I forgot it. All right, do this on this side. And now we have to do the smaller pieces. Okay, now the smaller pieces are these. I should have one more here. I do. All right. This one is pulling up, so I'll put a little glue right here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so these pieces are 7/8 inch wide by 4 1/4. And if you're going to do the two-tone without the die, you could do 5/8 by 4. I imagine you don't have the die, so you can either do them with or without the two-tone. Put this one on the inside. Two more to go. All right, and one more here. All right, now we are going to do a little bit more decorating on the inside before we put our acetate on. So what we have, let's see, I should have some, got some trees. I should have some, I do, they're hiding here. Some snowflakes. So I'm going to show you some snowflakes. These are what I put inside on the top of the house here. Like snowflakes are falling down. These come from Michael's. They're a package of some type of plastic snowflakes that I've had for some time in my stash. You can make paper ones if you like, or see if they carry these this year. So what I'm going to do, I have 3 different snowflake sizes, so I'm going to add these into the box. So make sure you don't put your snowflakes over the holes. So you can see I have a hole here and a hole here. It's still showing. And I'm going to put this one down here. Yeah, that's my hole. I have my hole here and my hole here, so I want to stay away from that. I don't want to cover. So I'll put this little small snowflake up here. All right, and then I got some of these little red gems. These are from the Dollar Tree. These are going to go in the center of my snowflakes. And one more on that. All right, now I have my snowflakes done. And you could see in these other boxes that I put some trees. So that's what we're going to do next. I will show you the dies that I have in my stash. Look and see what you have. You don't have to buy these specific dies, but you can see that I have this Arctic snowy tree, and it's a 3-tiered tree. And if you do the 3 tiers, they're 1.9 inches by 2.6 inches in size. And I also have these woodline pine trees, and I only use the large and the medium, and they are 1.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall, and the medium is 1.2 inches wide by 2 inches tall. So that'll give you an idea of what you need to have for your trees. And so I did, for this particular box, I did the trees in glitter, green glitter cardstock to match the greenery in the window. And then I did 2 snowy trees. So what we're going to do is put little foam in the back of the trees, because I want dimension. I want it popped up. And sometimes I put 2 layers, so we'll see once I try it out what it's going to look like. So as I told you, don't worry about the wire, because the wire gets cut. So we got 2 things in mind. We want to make sure we don't cover the lights. So my tree would be fine right about there, because it would not cover the light. So I'm only going to do 1 foam on here. 1 row of foam. And you did see I cut it in half from the original size. And we're going to just put it in here. And we're going to bring it up a little bit and press down. And I could still see my light, so I'm good. And then we're going to take the second tree, and I will have a tutorial sometime before Christmas on how I put my little figures together. So you can see how I do it. And we're going to put this right next to it, like that. That covers that up. So we're going to be careful. I'm going to put it right there so we can still see the light. All right, so we can still see the light. We're good. Now on the opposite side, we got another tree. This is the medium tree. And let's see, we got another. My desk is getting messy. All these little cuts here. I'm going to cut this in half. And let's see what it looks like. We don't want to cover the light. I'm going to see how this looks. Oh, I'm good with that. That would be good. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's put a double one on here. So you can see I have a double layer. Really make it pop. I'm going to make that tree be right there. And I can see some stuff I don't want there. There we go. Not sure what that is. Looks like glue. All right. And then we're going to put this one on top. We're going to put this right here. And I can still see my lights. All right, we're coming down to the home stretch. The next thing you're going to need is these little foam balls. You could get these at Hobby Lobby or the Dollar Tree. And this is to cover the bottom so it looks like snow in your little shadow box. It makes it a shaker at the same time. And I don't put a lot because I like for everything to show. I might take some out, by the way. That might be a little bit too much in there. I just put a little bit. Let's see, yeah, just so it touches the bottom of the trees. That's perfect. All right. So I got a few here on the table. I'm just going to throw them in there. So now we're getting ready to put the acetate on top and seal this box. So you're going to make sure that all of this is pretty flat, even with the box. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little glue and attach it on this side. So how are you doing? Are you following along? Are you almost ready? Okay, I'm going to do this side. All right, now we're getting ready to do our acetate. So the acetate piece, I'll say it one more time, I said it in the beginning, is 4 3/8 by 9 1/4, and it's going to go right on top of this. So if you're having problems with static electricity with those little foam balls, you can wipe your acetate with a dryer sheet, and that will prevent the little balls from sticking on there. And now you're going to put glue all around the outside of this, because we are going to stick the acetate right on there. You'll have to let me know if you think this project is easy or hard. I hope I explained it so that you think it's easy. So the acetate's going right on top of here. You just go 1 2 3 and put it on top. Don't worry about it. The glue dries. The glue dries clear, so we're good. Don't overdo it, but make sure you have enough. Okay, so I have a little smudge right here. So watch out. I'm using my shirt to take that off. Okay? It's okay. It's my crafting shirt. All right, so you want to get a good stick. So go ahead and take your bone folder and go along all the edges. Okay. All right, light. You got to get out of the way. Okay. The next thing is you're going to cut designer paper 1/4 inch. And I know that it's going to take three 1/4 by 12 for me. And we're going to go around the outside edge with this. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to put this on here. See, we're moving right along now. There's a lot of steps, but this is going to be beautiful when it's done. So the trick to having this look nice and neat is to do same two sides. So we're going to do this side, and we're just going to clip this off. And then you're going to do this side. Do the long sides first. All right, I got a little glue there, but I'm going to leave it because one thing I will tell you on this glue is that once it dries, you can scratch it off and it doesn't smear as if you were to take it off when it's wet. So we're just going to leave that there. We're going to straighten that out. That wasn't very straight. So we're going to take our next piece and we're going to go across the bottom here. Put your scissors up against the box and then cut. And I shouldn't be using those scissors. These are better for cutting straight. All right, and then we're going to flip this over. And we've got one more side. And lay that across the top. Put your scissors up against the box and clip. Oops. Oh, I need to get closer. Here we go. There we go. All right. Now you can see the box is almost ready. So we're going to talk about the back on how it's going to stand up. As you can see, it can stand up on its own, but we're not going to take that chance. So I have this particular die in my stash. This is what I used for my backing, but I will tell you, if you don't have that, you can use I would use 110-pound cardstock, and I would, let's see, I'll give you the measurement for this. This is 7 1/4 by 3 1/4 inches wide. You can take that and attach it to the back of this so that it'll hold it up, okay? If you don't have that other die, make sure it's a nice heavy cardstock. In my instance, since I have the die, I'm going to go ahead and glue these two pieces together. I cut 2 of them out. And I'm going to attach this to the back of my box. All right, I did that off camera, but all I did was glue it. Okay, we're going to fold this on the score line. And then this piece comes down. I don't know if you have this die, but that comes down so that when you mail this, you can fold that down if you wanted to mail it. I guess that's the original intention of the die, was for cards that stand up. I forgot to glue this. All right, there's a little notch in here where this goes. And we're going to glue this to the back. And you could do what I just showed you with a 110-pound cardstock. If you used the lights with the double, it's AA batteries. It's 2 AA batteries in there. You might have to double up on your 110 cardstock. Okay, before I put that on, I'm very sorry. You need a backing, and this piece right here is the 4 3/8 by 9.5 inches. So we're going to glue this on the back. I like to make sure that my projects are finished off in the back nicely. So I have a backing piece. And we are coming to the close on this. So we're going to attach this to the back. And then we're going to attach this to the back. It goes all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to do the same thing with the piece I told you about. And then you're going to take your little switch here, and you can go ahead and press that down here. I like to take mine because I don't want any of the wires to show, and pull it through there. I don't want the wires to show on the front. So I pull it through there, and I just attach it like this. So you could use sticky tape if you want to, or you could just glue it on there, so that when your batteries are dead, this just flips open. I'm just going to do a little bit of hot glue, just a little bit, just to hold it. Okay, so when your batteries are dead, you'll be able to flip that up and put that in there. Okay, now we're coming down to the last part, and you're going to take Holiday Wishes from the Peppermint Sentiment die, and you're going to cut them out with the backing and mount it on some type of a die, whatever you want. You could do square, oval, this type, whatever you have in your stash will look nice. And you're going to put some foam on the back of this. And you're going to attach it to the top of your box. And I'll pull it into view here. And you'll leave some of the top. You're going to leave some of the, here we go. I want to not go too far down because I want to be able to see the lights. So I'm going to put it right about there. Okay? So when it's standing up, I can see those lights in there. And I know you can't in this camera, but you can see that way. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do is I have a Santa Claus. And whatever you have in your collection, it could be some ephemera. It doesn't have to be a die-cut piece, but I'm going to put the Santa Claus right here. And I'm going to put some foam squares on the back of him as well. Just a couple. And you can see what I did there, because he's going to be hanging over the box a little bit. So we're going to peel these off. And we're going to eyeball them. We don't want them to cover up everything. We don't want them to cover the lights and not all the trees. So he looks pretty good right there to me. So I'm going to stick him right there. And there you have it. Your box is now complete and ready for gift giving. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and that you will consider making this wonderful gift for Christmas for your friends and family. If you do, please let me know so I can visit you on social media, and leave me a comment on how easy or difficult you thought this tutorial was. I would appreciate that. I wish you all a happy day, and until next time, everyone, happy crafting. Bye-bye.